And we're good here. Okay, so we should. Okay, that when it starts incrementing here in the lower right, that means I'm doing well. Okay. All right, so we'll just let the intro go for the at-home crowd. Welcome to Space Couch. If we have any Russian bride bots show up in the chat room here, we'll just deal with it. And so this, now you see what I see. I usually do the show Space Couch, 3 o'clock on Sundays, and so then I let the intro go here. It's a little long because normally I have to go to my own personal Facebook page to hit the stupid share button, and you can't automate that process, but we'll go through here, and then we'll learn all about Red Locust, wherever they are. I don't know, we usually bring, hey! So yes, usually the show is broadcast from space by way of my terrestrial base in Boston, Massachusetts. But the wonderful dark side of the con was great enough to have us try this out live in front of an audience. And now we're going to go to hi the internet, and everybody here at Dark Side of the Con 2022. We did! Oh my gosh! Getting that email like we're gonna push it another year. Holy gosh, God damn, did that suck. But not only here we get to do Space Couch Live. Hi the internet. Feel free to jump in on any of Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook. But I almost forgot the tagline. Call the spaceships to Davenport. Prepare for divanity and interface with a couch in space. It is Space Couch time. Couldn't be happier to be here. We're just going to break into our advertisers right away. Of course, brought to you by Dark Side of the Con 4, but Tiger Squawk Records is advertising this show. I want to tell you about the new single from Duckbag TM. It's a weird, like, IDM of Victoria. Amalgamated Cadaver, Pure Noise. It's me and the guy that plays the shopping cart in Terror Effect. Brain Games from the Gossicles and Big Time Kill. Comrade Computer is out now. That's really cool. Commie Body Music. Club Ovator's new single, Choke Point Overdrive, EVM to blow out your club. Beta Virus is back with Like That, but not like that. Kind of Beta Virus-y, but it's like really cool. Emerging Eldritch from Science Fiction. The guy's gone total witch house. Circles out of England has a bunch of new singles out. And Gasoline Inverter with Crankback Battery. Woo! And of course, the Hungarian Benefit compilation from Elias Synesthesia. And Distortion versus Tiger Squawk Records, brought to us by our guest today, and the Tiger Squawk Records Mysticon Super Sampler. That's free as well. You get all that at tigersquawkrecords.bandcamp.com. Ladies and gentlemen, normally there's this big part of the show every Sunday at 3 where I bring in the guest, but today I get to pass the mic. So with no crazy space link-ups from Philadelphia, or Pittsburgh, I should say, all the way out to space. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Red Locust. Awesome. So we're going to do a little pass the mic today, but you guys played on Friday. How did it do?
First of all, thank you guys all for coming. This is awesome. And hi, internet people. We are Red Locust. This is Lee and Jim. And yeah, my experience Friday was magical. I thought going on when we went on was unexpected, ran a little bit behind, but worked out totally in our favor, I think. And it was insanely good. I couldn't have asked for a better experience. So
Awesome.
Same here. I mean, it was a great night. First time playing in like 3.5 years.
Right? Like,
first time playing anything off the new album.
Oh gosh.
Literally the first time.
You're not only are you like, okay, hope this works. Like, I hope I remember all the fucking words.
Oh yeah, and first time with drummer Mike Johnson.
Oh, that is like that dude's a gangster. Like, I know you wouldn't be like, it's gonna be like that. We're just gonna be like, normally I can blame any weird technical issues on space, but we're in front of people today, so the jig is up. But we're just gonna be like, and you can adjust. But yeah, like like that guy's a gangster. You're in good hands, but.
Yeah.
But just the live of like, oh, there's a field here that I've never heard before, and now we're in front of people, and I just gotta go with it.
Yeah, like, I mean, seriously, you guys were an incredible audience. For those of you who caught that show, every bit of energy that I was sending to you, you guys were sending back, and every one of you who came to the merch table afterwards and just were endlessly complimentary about what we were doing up there was insane.
People are so cool at this con. It's like a love fest.
Yeah, this is my first con, so I can't say enough good about it. The only thing, I was a little sick on Friday night, so I wasn't my usual
You were
energetic self. Yeah, unfortunately not that kind of sick. But yeah, it was such a good night, and it was just great to have all of you here. And I think we made a few new fans, which was really
Awesome.
New fans and new friends.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
we have some rock stars in the audience. Like, what would you recommend people do or not do in a con setting like this? Like, all right, it's go time. But
You first on that one.
I mean, with any festival, and any time there's more than like a 3-band night, like whenever there's 5, 6, 7 bands, I don't care who's organizing it, stuff will get messed up. And
it's never happened to me.
I mean, it's not to blame any one person or anything. It's just be prepared for the unexpected.
That's such a good.
When they say 5 o'clock, they probably mean 5:30 or 6.
Oh yeah.
And it just, as long as you're okay and accept that.
Be prepared to cut a track beforehand. I knew it was gonna happen, and I didn't, and it fucked me up. So like,
do's and don'ts, I would say, do compliment that sound man.
that sound guy is. Do you know his name? Like
Ron is a god.
He's amazing.
That guy made our vocals cut through the room, and I felt like we were like Darth Maul, just
Well, he doesn't talk.
No, he doesn't. Well, in Clone Wars he does.
Yeah, okay. Very specifically Darth Maul.
Nerds.
Yeah, we'll get into that shit shortly.
And don't watch what you eat and when you eat it before you play.
Did you have an issue?
Yes. And I'm not getting too gross and disgusting, but many of you guys know I'm a cancer survivor, and I have my intestinal fortitude is I'm working with limited funds.
Oh.
So they cut like 18 inches out of there, and no gallbladder either. So
Wow.
long drives like touring and playing live can be tricky. Those last 2 songs we played the other night, I was very sick.
Oh, wow.
And you guys probably noticed I bolted off stage after. So, but still, it was...
Warrior.
Just think, if we'd have played on time, you wouldn't have had that issue.
That's true, but maybe all of you wouldn't have been in there because there's so much awesome stuff going on here that, we're all competing against each other in a friendly manner, and I think you all are.
Yeah.
Can I curse on this?
Say whatever the assballs fuck you want.
Fucking amazing people here. Like, seriously.
Well, it's right. No, it's cool. Like, in any context where there's like 8 rooms going, you're like, I hope anybody shows up for our shit, and it was like awesome. So thanks for being here as well. We gotta get into Red Locust. So you guys put out "Who the Gods Wish to Rule," and they first drive mad in 2020. We'll take it a little bit. Listen to Madness. Yeah, this track is crazy because it's like deep history.
Yeah, that's all his. He does all the important shit in the band. We had to do a single for this song, and we had Ashbury Heights do a remix, which are a band that I've adored and gush about whenever I can. Like, those two are amazing people, Yaz and Anders. Like, just
Michael of Grasp Logic says your battle comp track is fire. You can go to facebook.com/SpaceCouchShow if you want to put any shit up on the screen. But I don't know. Like, you can't embarrass us. We're already at the bottom of the barrel. But do whatever you want. So Yes, Zoo, we have that wonderful track. You were about to tell us a story, but I stole the mic. And tell us the story of Red Locust now, what we can expect for new material such as that wonderful list.
We wrote this album in 2019 with big plans to follow it up. Like, we had Dark Side booked, we had a Cold Waves pre-party, Electronic Savior 6 that was supposed to be with Clack and the Godsicles.
Oh, you were going to play that?
Yes.
Oh, no!
And
you guys know Cold Waves?
That got banned.
Oh, God, because they told us we were going to play with Clack. I don't know if we play with Red Locust.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah.
All right.
And that was what it was supposed to be, but it didn't happen. And
then the pandemic happened.
And then the pandemic happened, and the record kind of got swallowed up in the ether. It was pretty well received, but we didn't get to go out and support it. And now we're writing new material, and we do have a track that is going to go on a project we're doing with IDW Comics.
What?
We're doing Livio Remendelli's Kill Walk, creator-owned comic book. We're doing the soundtrack for it for Distortion.
Wow! Holy shit!
That's kind of an exclusive announcement because I haven't really talked about it yet. But
Oh my God! Okay, sorry.
the track we're putting on there is being mixed by Mr. John Fryer right now. Who did
9 inch fucking nails, ladies.
So that should be out. Hopefully, that comic. Issue 1 came out last month. Issue 2 is out next week. By the end, it's going to be 7 issues long. Livio is still working on it. He's going to do the cover art and the packaging design and everything for it. We're hoping to have it out in stores and online before the comic wraps up. So hopefully September, October, maybe even August. But we just don't know yet. But we're compiling tracks for it now.
Oh man.
And that's going to be our first new track. But the new album will be called, we like pretentious, long-winded album titles. I do. When I told him, I was like, here's the album title. And he was like, that's like a paragraph. But the new album's going to be called Hope is the Last Refuge of Dying Men.
Is there like a chapter break in the album? Okay, so we got to circle back because a lot of awesomeness just happened, and I want to make sure I got it all. So you're doing the Distortion Productions. There's the record label that you run.
Yes.
Is doing the soundtrack for this comic book.
Yep.
And the name of the comic book was
The Kill Lock.
The Kill Lock, coming out on IDW.
Yeah.
Who make a lot of the Transformers, D&D, G.I. Joe, like those kind of titles. They're great stuff. It's
Not for much longer. They lost the license and...
They were right. Comics, Kill Lock coming up, and you're doing the soundtrack. That is amazing.
Yeah,
so,
super cool.
Should we get that at redlocust.bandcamp.com?
Yeah, it won't be on the Red Locust Bandcamp, it'll be on the Distortion Bandcamp, under the compilation section.
All right.
But there'll be physical of it, and
Awesome.
and it'll be in stores and mail order and everything.
To say nothing of John Fryer, the producer of Name an Industrial Band, like some wonderful music.
Yeah, Depeche Mode.
Never heard of him. That's amazing. That's amazing. We're going to the Distortion shit real quick. How'd you cross paths with Aslan Faction?
Well, Lee, you want to tell that story?
You can tell it.
So we have, this is the Aslan Faction on my radio left is now part of Red Locust, which is dope because I'm a fan.
You mean the Aslan faction is no more?
Well, let's figure it out.
For those of you guys who don't remember Aslan Faction, Noitech Records in the early 2000s was a label out of Germany.
I want to say we're German, yeah.
A sub-label of Black Rain.
Yeah, and you guys know who Grendel is. That's where Grendel started. That's where
Fine Flute.
Tactical Sect, Fine Flute, like a lot of those like sort of harder edge like electro acts. Well, Lee was in Aslan Faction with the singer of Tactical Sect. That was that band.
Cool.
And you guys had 2 releases. And 2.5 if you have the limited edition of
exactly.
Syndrome, yeah. So My previous band, Reinforced, who played a lot with the Goth Symbols
Hell
back then.
yeah! We never stopped. We're still going.
Brian and I actually haven't seen each other in a lot of years.
Been a long time,
but we used to see each other a lot, like back when I was doing Reinforced stuff. And we had an opening gig in Pittsburgh with KMFDM and Inertia. And after that show, I was at the merch table. I had only met Lee like once or twice previous to that show, just through shows that I do in Pittsburgh for bands. And he came to the merch table and he was chatting me up, and he said, "Hey, I got some tracks that could really use a vocalist." I was like, "You are in fucking Aslan Factory." I was like, "I would love to work with you." And I was about to leave for vacation like that weekend, and I was at the airport when you sent the email, and he sent me like 6 tracks right off the bat, and I was like, "I got some work to do." So
Nice.
like the first album, Repercussions of Shedding Your Skin, which is another book-long album. That was our first record. It dropped in 2016. Physically, it's out of print. It's still available digitally everywhere.
Your album titles have more words than KMFDM songs.
We aim to please.
Hey!
So that record, we ended up doing a little bit of touring. We played some shows. We played in Toronto. We did some Ohio, Cleveland, Columbus, Richmond, Charlottesville. Yeah, shortly right after the tragedy.
It was like
down there.
5 or 6 days after it all happened.
Yeah, so things were like the town was really fresh from that. That was an experience that I'll never forget, seeing that.
So
the mural.
Well, yeah, I mean, like they had just set up on that street going down that
When
hill.
it
was all, put flowers on memorials and everything, and it was just so.
The woman got killed during that like white supremacist riot.
Yeah, the guy drove down
You
the
guys
hill.
remember that shit? Fucked up, but yeah, like so that was like shortly after that happened. So like everything was still really fresh down there, and everyone was still like on edge, and yeah, it was just it was something. When we stayed at Chad from Spider Lilies, he let us stay in his apartment. He lives like 2 blocks from there.
Wow, pretty intense.
So yeah.
Well, hell of a way to start a band, but we got to keep going because we only have 45 minutes in space here. Our air supply is kind of limited here. In space!
Shatner up here?
He's in the big room. We're in the you know how it is. We go by Jews here. Well, we got it. I don't even know how we're going to tackle this subject, but ladies and gentlemen, to my right, your left, we have the head of Distortion Productions, been killing it in the record label game for a gazillion years. To say nothing of the wonderful table out here, all the bands you got going. Let's just we'll circle overland. We'll do a flyby on the origins of Distortion Productions.
That would be quite unusual. Right?
Hey! The way the moron spoke was quite unusual. Hey. Industrial jokes! Oh my god! Like, you guys, my wife was so sick of my industrial jokes, but I have a whole audience now!
So, what was the question?
Tell me Distortion origins. Give me the origin story of Distortion.
You guys know,
living in movies here with my parents.
You guys know what Electronic Saviors is? Okay. I started that project after I got sick, and some of you guys see the box sets out there on the table. My history with Brian goes back to that first compilation. He wrote a song about us drinking together, and people really love that song.
It's the biggest song I have on Spotify.
Wow, really? Yeah. It's called Jim, Let Me Know When You Can Drink Again.
Yeah, 20 fucking million. It's the biggest one.
So it's after, but Brian has been a big supporter of what I do back then. He was there for me when I was sick, and just really, really cool. Like, enough to say nothing of that whole scene. So after I got sick and did the first Electronic Saviors, it was well received. This is a quick capsule version of this. My partner in crime, Chase, who I run the label with, Chase has sort of gone on to do his own business, but he wanted to release his own box warning project, but wanted to do it on a label. Our first release was like the premium edition of Electronic Saviors 2. It was like this 2-disc companion. So that was Distortion 001.
That's awesome.
The box warning record was 002, and then Stephen Archer comes walking through the door.
No way.
And he's like, how serious you about this record label? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, I have this project that I've been working on outside of Ego called Stoneburner. And the first Stoneburner track appeared on that 2-disc addendum set from ES2. And I'm like, well, you know, we have international distribution through MVD Entertainment Group, hooked up by Bart from WT2.
Yay.
And so those were our first couple releases, and then Spider Release was, you know, contacting me, was like, you know, we love you, we want to work with you on a label. You know, Stacy and Chad are just amazing people, and so we released that Error EP. Then somehow we got an NS record. I woke up to a voicemail. You guys know NS from Slick It, yeah, Big Face, all that stuff. I woke up one morning and there was a voicemail on my phone from him. What? Not the way I would have expected to that morning. And it's very hard, but just like that.
Okay, that's cool.
and I'm like, why is he calling me? I have a new solo album. I would like to release it on your label. And I'm like, wow. So I message him back and I'm like, hey, if you're interested, I'm interested. And it was sort of like that. And we did 2 solo records with him. Label started growing. We did Dope Stars Inc.'s Terror Punk record, Tenet from the UK, Ghost Speeder, who was here Friday night. We did a record with them. Third Round from Buffalo. Currently with Lorelei Dreaming from Chicago. And Old Device did 2 records with us. I mean, the label's only growing, so that's certainly the origin of it.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
honestly, yeah. So, yeah.
Well, we'll plug this real quick. We have a out free. It's naming price. All proceeds go to International Ukrainian charity. But what I'm talking about is Distortion versus Tiger Squad.
Yes.
Combined forces to battle faithfully for a benefit. You can go to currently TigerSquad.Records.bandcamp.com. 35 free tracks of my label, Tiger Squad Records, joining forces with Jim's label, Distortion Productions, to bring you a bunch of great music. So go check that out. I'm
Really Brian's idea, by the way.
I was really happy to get together, and we were able to there's all these weird silver linings with the pandemic. The timing worked out that our bands played together at the same show. So to celebrate that side, help some people if we can, and get you guys some great music, check out that free compilation. It's awesome. Let's do this. In this Bandcamp world, where I can just distribute to whatever, and I'm not going to walk into a Best Buy anytime soon. What is the role of a record label, and even for a weird little industrial thing?
Yeah, it's I would say teamwork. It's a family. I think it's more of a family effort than anything else. And I do tell my bands, I'm not Superman. I can't do the kind of stuff that a label like Metropolis,
right?
I have nothing but the utmost respect for Dave Heckman and the empire he's built with that label. Electronic Saviors was, he highly supported it, and he's just an amazing man. And coming from the environment that we're in right now, with labels and digital and a lot of artists doing their own thing, I kind of want it to be more of a collaborative effort. I mean, we've got distribution set up, we've got digital distribution set up through the Orchard, and
that's pretty awesome.
And so I do highly encourage I have a number of acts on my label that don't play live, like Trade Secrets. Like FJ DeSanta, getting FJ to play a live show is impossible. His band is scattered all over the world, and so for some bands it's not possible. Blue Like Christ, he's another one. Like John, he lives in LA. He does like big production work for stuff like Fergie and Whitney Houston's Hologram tour.
Wow.
He does stuff like that's his day job.
That's awesome.
And so putting a live band together and getting out and playing live isn't a priority of his, but I was a fan of his music, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll put your record out. So I do encourage my bands to play as much as they can, but then you have, bands like Lorelei Dreaming and that are out there playing, as much as they can coming out of this last 2 years that we've had to deal with. So I essentially, fly right in front of me, we have Silverbox playing.
Hey, and Unicode Machine, my new coworker in real life.
That guy's a good dude.
Crazy.
I like it.
Yeah, it's cool when people at work get your frontline assembly jokes.
But to answer that question is, it can be tricky running a label in this current age, because not every band needs it.
Right.
So I am not. I'm only here to work on your music as much as you will.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna do a little bit of speed run so we don't go into con time right away, but we're gonna bring it back to Red Lokust, because I know you wear a lot of hats. And one of those hats, we are simpatico in a lot of ways in our comic book affections. Okay, so take let's say 3 or 4 musical influences for Red Lokust, and tell me which characters in the Marvel universe they would be.
Oh my God, Lee, you want to take this one?
Oh hell no. The thing is, I'm a fan of all the comic book characters and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't follow it like Jim does.
Well, you're joking person in person. No, it's fine.
Like, what was the first thing you said? Like, are you DC or Marvel? And I'm just like, neither, both.
It's a convention in international waters. Anything goes.
It's okay. So Tragic Impulse, who is supposed, if they're not on right now, I call them. They would be my Silver Surfer to my Adam Warlock.
Okay. So you have Tragic Impulse and Silver Surfer. Why would you say that?
Because they're slick as fuck.
Yeah, that's how you do.
And
do they walk more around just like Speedos?
Hey, if Ron Lim is drawing them, he has nothing on.
That is a positive impulse. I wouldn't call that tragic.
Let's see here. So let's go with Null Device.
Yes, my Null Device I kind of grew up with because I'm from the Midwest. I wanted to jump in real quick. Lorelei Dreaming was in the Dungeons and Dragons game I played where my guy died.
Okay.
That Ken the Gospel song, My Guy Died. Laura's playing that. So, Null Device is...
I would give Null Device to Emma Frost.
Okay, Null Device. You guys know Null Device, like synth pop gods, the guy sings like he's sucking sex on feet. So is that why Emma Frost then? She went on the funky gear? Or?
Well, that and it's more cerebral.
Okay.
She's a telepath.
Oh.
So yeah, so I would give Emma Frost to Null Device.
Awesome. Well done. All right. You're on to one.
One more. Okay. Let's do Red Lokust.
Okay.
Thanos.
Wow, Is that because is it an infinity gem for each electronic saviors, or? Yeah, okay, all right, sweet.
No resurrections this time.
Yeah!
Wow. So it's just he's been my favorite villain since I was 15 years old.
Right,
so if I had to choose,
how about that Thanos copter in Loki?
Yeah, the Easter egg. That was one panel in one book.
Yeah.
In the 70s or something like that. So, but yeah. So
now that you're diving into comic book world with Killlock coming out soon from IPW, soundtrack. Distortionproductions.bandcamp.com or distortionproductions.com?
Both. Well,
Look at this guy.
You can just link it through. You can go to the Distortion website and the Bandcamp link on there. But yeah, so but it's distortionproductions.bandcamp.com.
All right,
so
sick.
Yeah.
Sick. All right, so those are bands on Distortion Productions as Mario characters, but excuse me, I had to swallow, so that was weird. So we can't, I know you kind of did a panel on this already, but like it's almost, correct me if I'm wrong, impossible to tell the story of Red Locust without dipping our big toe into Electronic Saviors world. For those of you just joining us, this is of course the, what would you say, landmark, milestone, monolith of distortion.
Yeah, it is, but I do want to make it clear, we did 6 of those box sets. And those box sets are multi-disc, and involve over 100 acts each time. And that can be quite a gargantuan, experience to put together for people. And it takes 2 years of my life to do one of those, and we've done one on time every 2 years since 2010 was the first one, 2020 was 6. So I'm not doing those anymore.
Right.
And it's mainly due to, as much as I appreciate everyone's support on those things, we donated $104,000, which $100,000 was my goal from the very beginning. And I didn't
what was the actual total number?
104,000.
Okay.
Like we're still
104,000.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Every year we donate around Christmas time to various charities. This year it was Cap for Kids. We out of Colorado. We've donated to them a number of times. They speak to my heart because they dress up like superheroes and go visit kids in the hospital, which is awesome. Young Adult Survivors United out of Pittsburgh, the University of Pittsburgh, my surgeon, Dr. David Medich, who I will sing the praises of until I'm a dead man. He is just the reason I'm still here.
Well, so we'll set the table a little bit for you ladies joining us. Jim is a cancer survivor of some pretty gnarly shit.
Yeah, it can get gross to describe, but it's one of the most uncomfortable cancers you could have, colorectal, and genetic, passed down from my grandparents to my dad. My dad passed away in 2003, and then when I got it at the age of 31, they sent me in for genetic testing, and they said you have what's called Lynch syndrome. It's HNPCC. It's a genetic mutation in the M6 gene, and causes colon cancer at a young age. And that's why you see a lot of ads, on TV for getting colonoscopies at a younger age now, which is very important. So I'm going to tell you guys this: if your body's telling you something, go to the doctors, listen to your body, and because if you don't, you might end up regretting it. And don't worry about the health insurance thing. If you happen to not have it, I have Obamacare, and it's been amazing for me. And at the time, I had it through my work, but due to the chemo, the radiation treatments, and everything I had to go through back then, our insurance at work went up 72% the year after, and so we couldn't afford it anymore. And then here comes Barack Obama with his plan, sort of right in time. And I got that, and it took my costs down ridiculously. It's so awesome. So, if you guys have any kind of family history, they're lowering the age from colonoscopies. It used to be age 50. Yeah. Now it's 45. I think it should be even lower if you have a family history of that. Don't fuck around, you guys, please.
So, we'll follow this thread just because I'm interested now. We don't need to get super grody with it, but I just don't know what even to look for. Is it just this is not right?
There's a guy, Corey Devlin from the band Dead on TV. passed away a few years ago. And we did a release party for ES3 in Chicago, and he took me aside, and he was like, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" I said, "Yeah, sure, man." He was like, "Can we go around the corner, though?" He said, "When you were having problems before you were diagnosed, what did you have going on?" I was like, "Bleeding, very fatigued, tightness through the abdomen, and pain when sitting down." And I said, "Do you have any of that going on at all?" And he said, sorry. He said, "Yeah." And I said, "You need to get your ass to a doctor immediately." And that was for volume 3. By the time we did volume 4, he was gone.
Yeah, that sucked. But, you know, it speaks to your point. And so you're, you know, check yourself out, and you're in this situation, and like I have all this energy and this chaos, and I'm not going to sit here. I'm going to make a compilation, and I'm going to make it gorgeous. The Electronic Saviors box art you could sell at a venue or the vendor booth out here. It's so pretty. And we're going to do it once. We're going to do it 5 more times. You put out 6 of these. Talk about, you don't do anything small.
I can't take credit because it's everybody else. It's all you guys that make that a success. It's you. You've given me great tracks. It's Lee. I wouldn't probably be even writing music anymore if Lee hadn't come along and wanted to work with me. And being able to do this is a real privilege. And it's a go big or go home thing. I feel like if we would have done something on a smaller scale, we wouldn't even got noticed, and we would probably went into debt. But no, we still got to we got to donate so much money for people who needed it. And
to say nothing of discovering bands. Like, I found so many bands in those Electronic Saviors compilation. They're available now at distortionproductions.com. Right?
Yeah. I do want to say Metropolis was very instrumental in the success of those. Because they really gave me the visibility I needed to like show you guys what we could do. And
yeah, it was cool.
And everyone was awesome.
Yeah, that's how hey, cool shirt, man. I got an email from Peter Skills and Project Pitchfork. It was like, "My man, I remember this story." He's like, "We found you on this Electronic Saviors. Like, do you want to look at the track?" And of course, I'm like, "All right, which of my friends are like fucking with me right now?" But no, it's really him. And then, like, 2 weeks later, he's like, "Brian, what does English license mean?" And I forgot that I wrote a song trashing him, like, 10 years ago, called English License, the chorus of which is Project Pitchfork, E-Craft, and Funkerfolk. "Your English license has been revoked." I was like, fuck, I forgot about that. And then like the whole day, I was like, "God damn it, I just looked up and Project Pitchfork." And then he writes back later, like, "I'm just kidding. You're only going to use my bad German grammar." I'm like, "You motherfucker." But
the premise to that story is before I sent Peter his way, I had to tell him that Peter Stillis from Project Pitchfork wants to work with you. And because Peter sent me an email, he was like, "Thanks for the Electronic Saviors compilation." He was like, "The Godsicle song on there is awesome." He was like, "How could I get in touch with this guy?" And I sent Peter's email, and I said, "Be prepared, Peter is going to send you an email." And he said, "Don't fuck with me."
Yeah, and then we got to be friends, and then I went on a roller coaster with Project Pitchfork. It was the weirdest thing that ever happened. So, thank you for the Electronic Saviors compilation. I want to, if we can even approach this subject, because it was such a big chunk of your life, like, where does that journey, even the administrative journey, like, put you from a pre-Electronic Saviors world to a post-world?
Well, before I did any of that or the label or anything, I DJ'd a lot. And there were a lot of late nights, and I was doing Reinforced, and my life is totally different.
Reinforced is your precursor band.
Yeah. We had a couple records out on WT2.
It's good stuff.
DSPP.
Pretty fantastic. Check it out.
And so afterwards, it's become the reason why I'm not doing those box sets anymore. They'll exist on a smaller scale. Y'all have anyone pick up the Draven's mixtape album? Okay, the Crow soundtrack.
Yeah,
we all officially licensed those songs to, cover them. And we did the same thing with the Transformers 1986 movie soundtrack.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing things like that. Okay. That's the way Electronic Saviors is going to be going forward. Next one's going to be the Lost Boys.
What? Nice.
The Lost Boys soundtrack from '86 or '87 maybe. But that's got like In Excess and who's the dude that plays the saxophone?
Oh yeah,
that dude.
Well, yeah, I forget it. I mean, it's going to be everybody fighting to do the Cry Little Sister.
Yeah, that's what I've already had a couple. Can we do Cry Little Sister? No, you can't. No, already got that one lined up. So that's the way. Like, it's Brian.
Yeah.
But that Saviors will go forward like that. So there will be more releases of digital singles. Like Interface did a Saviors digital single for us, and Saphira B, one of our new signings, did one.
Yeah.
So that's the way that sort of franchise will move forward. But it'll always be a part of us.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Awesome. We are on a road flight path out here in space, and thank you for joining us out here.
Thank you, guys.
We're going to bring this flying. Normally I say couch, but we have this wonderful table and chair set up today. We're going to be bringing this flying table and chair set up. Welcome to the first space table and chairs. We're going to be bringing space table and chairs back on into the station shortly. I want to do just a quick summary. We want to check out Tiger Squawk Records.bandcamp.com for the wonderful Distortion versus Tiger Squawk Records CD. The cover has me and Jim fighting as Mega Man people. He's winning, so it's all
I don't think so.
Stop.
I've seen his guns.
It's a con, I have a piece of
He's just shaking his head.
Rex Arcana. Oh, God damn it. Rex Arcana was typing in the chat, but I didn't say anything. Hey, what's up, buddy? FGFC820 in the chat today. View from the camera. Hail Jim. Red Locust says bad seed. AJ, hey, that's Morris Black's girlfriend says what a great question. And awesome. I should have been paying more attention to the chat room. I apologize to you, the internet, but it's our first live show, and I got all swept up by the beautiful people in the audience. We want to be on the lookout for anything new coming out from Red Locust. They'll be selling bookmarks if you need to stop, before you get to the end of their album title. But if you want to check it out in Distortion, if that's all I want to plug, to give us any future predictions down the wormhole or play anything as we round out the first live air episode of Space Couch.
Predictions, I predict Distortion will sign 9 Inch Nails record.
Yes. You know what I would do for
that's a bad prediction. That's a nostril, Thomas. No, we have a new Tragic Impulse record dropping on May 8th, but awesome. We have it for sale out there now. It's supposed to be playing right now. So after this, everyone go down and check them out, and then bounce right back here for the Electronic Saviors panel at 2:45. But
we have to drop Electronic Saviors.
Then the Silverwalks record, and there's like 3 singles coming out. Like Tear Me Down just came out on Friday digitally. But he's got John Fryer mixing his whole record, and that'll be out midsummer. And then there's the Killock thing, and so yeah, we're talking with some other people we met here at the con about potential signings too.
Awesome.
I cannot talk about that.
Well, so Rex Arcana says so much sex. Bad Seed 666 says, where to party at after orgy? It's right here. And it also says, giggity. I will say, to you. Call the spaceships to Davenport. Prepare for Divanity and interface with a couch in space. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for helping us out with. Oh my gosh, I got Red Locust coffee! This is the best day ever. I will give you your space couch. Thank you, Pat, after the show. I didn't know this was going to work. We've never done this in front of an audience, so thank you. We're a real podcast now because we did a live show. Give yourself Space Couch out, ladies and gentlemen. We'll do the credits here around those. If you want your name in these credits, we'll go Sunday at 3 o'clock. Usually every Sunday, I think. John Bunker will be our next guest, so stay tuned for that. The afternoon Zero Lots just posted a thing. A bunch of people coming on. Cat, if I don't talk about the date on that. See you next time. And thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of the show.